Hello and welcome to Nationwide News, reaching you live from our network studios in Abuja. I'm Naja'at Tijani. Thanks for joining us. Youth Leaders, a non-governmental organization, Youth Leaders and Social Media Influencers, has condemned in strong terms the comments of the United Nations and the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, on developments in the country. Suleiman Abdul Wahab reports that the group raised the issues at a meeting in Abuja.
The group comments President Muhammadu Buhari's diplomacy in the way his administration is attending to the requests of NSAS protesters, and they express their grievances by the way some unpatriotic people represent the situation in order to ridicule the nation.
March for Nigeria demand that the United States, United Kingdom, France, Canada, the European Union, the United Nations, African Union, International Criminal Court, Amnesty International, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, members of US Congress, members of the UK Parliament, and foreign celebrities that had recriminated Nigeria should withdraw their misguided statement and stick to facts in the future.
They also sensitize Nigerians on the implication of current protests, looting of private businesses, and destruction of critical national infrastructures.
People who are anti the children of this country took over this peaceful protest and wanted to use it. And we are saying as parents, we don't think that is right.
Hoodlums have infiltrated the struggle which started peacefully, and the world heard us. Not just the president heard us, but the world heard us. That the youth should leave the streets and we should give peace a chance.
Group advised Nigerians to use social media judiciously and be mindful of kind of information being passed through the social media. From Abuja, Suleiman Abdul Wahab, NTA News.
Similarly, the youth wing of the Nigeria Interreligious Council is calling on the NSAS protesters to back down and give peace and dialogue a chance. Timothy Yusuf reports that the Muslim and Christian youth of Nigeria, under the banner of the council, have been charged with the responsibility of promoting peaceful coexistence.
This group of Muslim and Christian youth believed that the violence that took over what was initially peaceful NSAS protest was avoidable if the protesters had not allowed hoodlums to hijack and disrupt the process in some parts of the country. They want the protesters to put an end to the demonstrations to avoid further hindrance to national development.
Because of the hijacking of the protest, we suggest we go for dialogue.
We are all concerned about building a better Nigeria. So let us remain partners in building peace.
It is time for them to really allow the government to work on the proposals.
Another group of youth under the banner of Nigeria Youth Organization at a road walk in Abuja is urging fellow youth to give peace a chance, as it believes that the present administration remains committed to improving the well-being of the citizenry.
Give peace a chance. There is no country that can survive war. So we are begging our youth that let us allow Mr. President to implement what he has approved for us.
Both the youth wing of the Nigeria Interreligious Council and the Nigeria Youth Organization maintain that dialogue remains the most effective tool for dispute resolution. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has made a passionate appeal to all Nigerians to avoid all sentiments capable of threatening national security, maintaining that the sovereignty and unity of the country is sacrosanct and non-negotiable. The president's message was delivered by the Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Salihi Magashi, and Minister of Agriculture, Muhammad Sabo Nanono, at a forum tagged Kano Stakeholders Peace Talks held to restore normalcy across Kano State. Fatima Sunusi Arai reports.
Suffice to say, this is not the best of time for Nigeria, as youth demonstration to protest the excesses of anti-robbery squad went berserk after it was hijacked by hoodlums, leading to wanton destruction of lives and property, thereby paralyzing socio-economic activities in some parts of the country. This stakeholders meeting, which is at the instance of President Muhammadu Buhari, attracted heads of security outfits, religious leaders, and representatives of various ethnic communities in Kano, seeking to consolidate on peace to restore normalcy in affected areas.
Everybody should know that you have the right to do whatever you want to do in this country as granted by the Constitution, but you have no right to deny any other human being his right. And that's why the government will not take it easy for anybody who hinders the progress of any other person in this country. And that's why whatever you see us doing, we are doing it according to the constitutional requirement of a country. And we must be sure we enforce whatever is enforceable for the interest of the greater number of people in this country.
We welcome this initiative by the two ministers about peace and stability in Nigeria to enlighten people. Everyone needs to embrace this peace. Our youth should agree with what are the platforms that His Excellency the Governor put in place where they can hear their view.
The two ministers, indigents of Kano, acknowledged some of the security challenges bedeviling the country and efforts being made to restore and preserve the sanctity of the nation. They also enumerated on the achievements of the present administration to date. In Kano, Fatima Sanusi, RI, NTA News.
And still on peace talks, the federal government has again appealed to youth to stop the violence and embrace peace in the aftermath of the NSAS protest. The Minister of the Niger Delta, Senator Godswill Akpabio, who led a federal government delegation to Akwa Ibom State, said this at a stakeholders meeting after inspecting destroyed property in Uyo, the state capital. Kelvin Samuel reports.
In the aftermath of NSAS hoodlums wanton destruction and looting of valuable items worth multi-million naira, the federal government has continued to show concern to the people, especially those directly affected. While in Akwa Ibom State, the delegation took time to visit and inspect areas directly affected. Anchor Insurance Outfit, Akwa Ibom State Broadcasting Corporation, recreational centers, and other places destroyed by the hoodlums. After the inspection, the federal government delegation held a meeting with the people and reassured that the federal government, in collaboration with the state government, will do everything possible to restore lasting peace in the state. The meeting agreed that since the Akwa Ibom state government had aligned with the federal government to constitute a panel of inquiry over the unfortunate happenings, affected persons and other well-meaning citizens should submit their memorandum for government attention.
The NSAS movement has made the point. Judicial commissions of inquiries have been set up. Government is looking into police reform and in fact even the increase in salary. All those were well intentioned. But please stop going out. Let the process come to an end. Let us now go into major reform so that we can see the result of the protest, so that those that the hoodlums came and killed will not die in vain.
Whatever complaint, genuine or otherwise, go to the Commission of Inquiry. Even those whose properties were destroyed in the last 24 or 48 hours, please take your complaints to that Judicial Commission of Inquiry and it will be addressed.
The stakeholders meeting also attended to issues and questions raised. In Uyo, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
Combined security operatives of the Nigeria Police Force and the military have halted attempts by hoodlums to invade the storage facility of the FCT Emergency Management Agency at the Art and Culture Office in Area 10, Abuja. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports that the hoodlums masquerading under the NSAS protest could not gain access to the facility due to heavy security presence.
Since the Lagos experience where hoodlums invaded the storage facility and carted away COVID-19 palliatives, hoodlums in other states followed suit with the same act of vandalism. The letter states that experienced the attack on Saturday are Plateau, Cross River and the FCT, where security operatives mounted all exit and entry points of the Art and Culture Office, where COVID-19 palliatives are supposed to be kept. Director General FCT Emergency Management Agency, Abbas Idris, who confirmed the attempted invasion, said all relief materials in the storage facilities have since been distributed. A report on the exercise is ready for submission.
It is not even a protest, because if you are going on protest, there is place in Abuja where you can go and protest. But these people are just out to steal the properties or anything that is kept for the people of Nigeria. We have finished distributing palliatives. These are the reports. And if we have anything left in the warehouse or anywhere, we cannot write a report and bind it. That means it's not concluded. But this is the report of all the palliative distributed in the FCT.
The DG thanked the security operatives for the proactive interventions and appealed to the youth to maintain law and order. In Abuja, Ilyasu Aliyakubu, NTA News.
The Ekiti state government has cautioned against consuming looted seedlings from government warehouses and silos in Ado Ekiti, as the seedlings have been treated with chemicals and are for planting purposes only. Yemi Dalemo completes the story.
Strategic reserves and emergency platforms in Ado-Ekiti, Ekiti state capital, were not spared by the hoodlums who claim to have been looking for COVID-19 palliatives believed to have been stored in those locations, though they succeeded in cutting away some items including maize, rice and fertilizers, which they erroneously believed to be gari. The state government said the stolen items were not palliatives but treated seedlings meant for planting.
I will employ us not to eat it at all, not to soak it in a cold or hot water. It cannot remove the chemicals from it. Please do not be deceived. Don't let us put ourselves on untimely death.
The commissioner, who advised against acts of vandalism, looting and stealing in the name of protest, said government will soon roll out measures to engage many youths in the Ekiti state and take them out of unemployment.
Youth in commercial agricultural development, which I'm also overseeing, we want to employ more people into agriculture. We have created a special agri-processing zone where 40,000 hectares of land will be cleared and mechanized. Ekiti youth will be employed.
Sanity is, however, gradually returning to the town. In Ado-Ekiti, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Now we head to Plateau State, where more than 200 curfew violators and looters from different parts of Jos have been arrested and paraded by Operation Safe Haven as hoodlums continue to ransack government facilities and private properties in Jos. Abba Abubakar Yakubu reports that in the early hours of Sunday, youths in their hundreds broke into the State Ministry of Agriculture warehouse in Dogondusi in Jos Township, where they carted away bags of fertilizer, water pumping machines and other farming equipment.
Following the directive of government at reinstatement of 24-hour curfew in Jos North and Jos South local government areas, officers of the Operation Safe Haven apprehended some youths who looted properties as well as violating the curfew order. These array of suspects have been arrested from Dogon Dutse in Nasarawa area, where the Plateau State Agricultural Development Agency (PADP) warehouse has been ransacked and looted. Some of the items recovered from the suspect include fertilizers, water pump machine, knapsack, insecticides and other farm inputs. Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Chukwuemeka Okonkwo, said the operation will ensure peace and order is restored within the state capital and other parts of the state. He added that the apprehended looters will eventually be handed over to appropriate authority, and this will serve as deterrent to others.
Running from there, as we just run, we just enter somebody's house. Now they just enter, catch us. We are two when they catch us from there.
When we were at home, we are in our neighborhood, we had a gunshot around our neighborhood, so we came out to check what was going on. When we were out, soldiers came out, told us that we were the one in charge of these palliative.
As at the time of filing in this report, security agencies are on patrol to ensure normalcy in every part of Jos. In Jos, Abba Abubakar Yakubu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has lamented the invasion and wanton looting of public and private assets in Lagos State. He called for caution when he paid a visit to Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in Marina, where he clarified his movement in the past few days. Nosa Osula reports.
Addressing journalists after the meeting with the governor, Tinubu said he did not travel out of the country as reported by some sections of the media. He told reporters that the purpose of his meeting with Governor Sanwo-Olu was to ask him if he had ordered soldiers to attack NSAS protesters at the Lekki toll gate on Tuesday.
Why am I here? Number one. To commensurate with the governor and sympathize with those victims through him. Seek his permission to visit some of those victims if they are still there in the hospital.
Tinubu has also come under fire in the last few days over the Lekki incident as rampaging hoodlums burnt down investments reportedly linked with him, including a television station, a newspaper house, as well as assets of the Lekki Concession Company, the managers of the toll gate. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
Now, for more updates from Lagos, let's join Hingino live for stories making the rounds from that axis. Over to you, Hingino.
Thank you, Najatu. Southwest governors and ministers have paid a condolence visit to the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the people of the state following the aftermath of the NSAS protest, which resulted in loss of lives and destruction of public and private property. The Southwest governors, led by its chairman, Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State, as well as ministers from the region, sympathize with those who lost their lives and property in the coordinated arsonist attack on public assets and private property in the state.
Are undoubtedly all surprised at the extent of damage that we have seen in Lagos. We will be right to say Lagos was turned to a war zone, because the damage could not be worse than this if we were at war. What has led to this is what we cannot fathom. And a lot of ideas, a lot of suggestions, a lot of issues have been raised. Is it the spread of fake news and videos? Or are there other reasons? But no doubt this will come out later.
Ondo State Governor there speaking on behalf of the Southwest governors and ministers at the State House Marina. Meanwhile, Nigeria's commercial hub, Lagos, is returning to its ever-busy nature of commercial engagement after the state government relaxed curfew hours. Abolade Salami went around some affected areas to observe situation on ground.
Thank you, studios. I'm at the Lekki Ikoyi toll roundabout. If you look behind me, here is where we have the link bridge. That is the bridge that connects vehicles leaving Lekki going to Ikoyi. As of last week, this bridge was not accessible for any vehicle due to the blockage by NSAS protesters. But as you have it right now, vehicles are having easy ride. People are moving around without any fear in their mind of any form of attack. I have a Mr. Jerry Adagba who wants to tell us how the situation is currently. Mr. Jerry Adagba.
I'm so happy. I'm so excited. There is peace. Now I can move freely. I can move from Lekki here to VI, from VI to Ajah. There is peace now.
Meanwhile, the situation here at the Lekki Toll Gate Plaza is not different from that of the Ikoyi-Lekki Link Bridge, where everywhere looks calm. The situation here also depicts calmness. Now I saw that you drove past your cars here.
Yeah.
How was the experience this morning?
No problem. It's free flowing.
Is this, people are saying this area is still yet unpassable. Please tell us.
No, it is passable. I just passed it, as you have said.
Tell us now, which area is passable?
The Lekito Plaza. That's where I just passed through now. That's where I am now.
It's back to you, in the studio.
Thank you, Abolade. Now, the NSAS protest by some Nigerians may have come to an end, but its effect on some Lagosians is still sending fears down their spines. Annie Daniels went to town to sample the opinions of these group of persons, and here are her findings.
As a peaceful protest here at Lekki Toll Gate by some Nigerians aimed at bringing to the consciousness of the federal government the need to curb the excesses of the Nigerian police. The peaceful protest continued for days. Then, like a disaster destined to happen, hoodlums hijacked the protest, leading to destruction of both government and private-owned property, thereby throwing Lagosians into a state of panic.
Because of the incident, because of the shooting of a soldier, we should stop going home because actually blood was crying, even the children. The fear I had, I couldn't come out.
Though Lagos State government has announced a curfew to calm the situation in the metropolis, these respondents say they are still in trauma.
And for people who are in the firing line, who are actually met and saw the destruction eye to eye.
Business owners are still afraid that it will be them next. Because if any least opportunity is given to these children, they will loot even filling stations.
We actually advise government to compensate those people that their properties are being destroyed. It will be really helpful.
Shola Aleton is a psychologist. He prefers a solution.
We demand that we see those who are experts, those who can guide us, those who can help us, those who can take us out of the problem. And these are the psychologists that we don't recognize, that we don't go to, that we don't even know whether they exist or not.
While Lagosians commend both the state and federal governments for restoring peace and sanity in Lagos State, Lagosians are asking that psychosocial support should be provided for them. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
We now take a break. Nationwide continues shortly.
Recent genuine concerns and agitations by Nigerians about the excessive use of force and in some cases extrajudicial killings and wrongful conduct by men of the Nigerian police force. The disbanding of SARS is only the first step in our commitment to extensive police reform in order to ensure that the primary duty of the police and other law enforcement agencies remains the protection of lives and livelihoods of our people. We will also ensure that all those responsible for misconduct or wrongful acts are brought to justice. We also deeply regret the loss of life of the young man in Oyo State during the recent demonstrations. I have directed that the circumstances of his death should be thoroughly investigated. Meanwhile, it is important to recognize that the vast majority of men and women of the police force are hardworking and diligent in performing their duties. The few bad eggs should not be allowed to tarnish the image and reputation of the force.
Do you desire to upscale your skills and capacities for better productivity? Then you need to attend the following courses organized by NTA TV College, JOS, English Grammar and Pronunciation for Broadcasters. Date 26th October to 20th November 2020. Protocol Event Management and Public Relations. Date 2nd to 13th November 2020. Intermediate Camera Operation Techniques. Date 2nd to 13th November 2020. Intermediate Online News Reporting Skills. Date 16th to 27th November 2020. The course fee for the 4-week course is 100,000 naira per participant, while the fee for other courses is 80,000 3,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. Venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA Television College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
Mr. President said the youth of this country have spoken, and he has heard, and he has since gone to work for the youth of our country, not just as a president, but even as a father of the younger generation.
The real Nigerian youth is a patriot, not a tool of destabilization.
Mr. President made an appeal to the Nigerian youth that this protest, wherever held, should be done in a peaceful manner. The Nigerian youth should be on their guard to make sure that elements that will infiltrate and distract them from the very purpose of their protest should be prevented from doing so.
Listen to the voice of reason.
Welcome back to our Abuja studios. The governing board of the NECO has resolved that the 2020 SSCE be postponed indefinitely in view of the current security challenges caused by the NSAS protests, which disrupted the smooth conduct of the examinations in some parts of the country. The board notes that due to these security challenges, some state governments have imposed curfews and closed schools in order to safeguard lives and property. As such, it has become difficult for the council to move examination materials across the country, leading to students in the affected locations being unable to sit for papers already scheduled on the examination timetable. The governing board further resolves to continue with the conduct of the examinations in all states when normalcy is restored. The council says, while regretting any inconveniences this postponement may cause, the decision has been taken to maintain the integrity and security of its examination procedures for seamless conduct of exams nationwide. Following the turn of unfolding happenings around the NSAS protests, Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi has joined other states to inaugurate panels of inquiry to investigate alleged excesses of human rights. Now, that report will come in our subsequent bulletin. Now, Niger State government has constituted a 10-man judicial panel of inquiry to investigate cases of police brutality in the state as it affects the country. Suleiman Kodoki reports that Governor Abubakar Sani Bello inaugurated the panel in Minna with a call to discharge their duties diligently.
The 10-man panel with Justice Ishaku Usman as chairman and Abraman Tariq to serve as secretary has 1 month period to complete and submit its report. Terms of reference for the panel include to identify all those who have made claims of police brutality, investigate them, and make appropriate recommendations. Governor Abubakar Sani Bello noted that the governors are saddened by the turn of events which became violent across the country by some bad elements, despite the good intention of the youth.
We are trying to control the situation. We are trying to meet to the demands of the genuine protesters so that we maintain peace and calm in Nigeria as a whole.
The chairman of the panel, Justice Ishaku Usman of the State High Court, appreciated the state government for the honor and confidence reposed in them and assured of effective and timely delivery.
Even the police will reach out to them so that they also, something must have prompted them if there's any such cases in Niger.
The inauguration of judicial panel of inquiry is the fallout of the NSAS protest across the country, which was hijacked and led to loss of lives and property in Minna. Suleiman Kodogi, NTA News.
Now our Ekiti story is ready. Following the turn of unfolding happenings around the NSAS protest, Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi has joined other states to inaugurate panels of inquiry to investigate alleged excesses of human rights abuse perpetrated by the band's Special Anti-Robbery Squad, Kola Adebobui reports.
Headed by retired Judge Justice Cornelius Akintayo has a 6-month period with the terms of reference to receive and investigate complaints of police brutality or related extrajudicial killings in the state. Governor Fayemi, who expressed concern over the events of past days in the country, said government will continue to monitor the situation and ensure that peace and normalcy is restored. The governor noted that the judicial panel will also receive and investigate complaints of violence against individuals and destruction of property in every part of the state in the course of protest.
First step in responding to the concern from the NSAS protesters. We shall swiftly move in action and make sure that we approach this assignment with the dexterity itself.
In order to enable the panel to respond appropriately to the urgent needs of victims of rights violations, Governor Fayemi said a victims compensation fund to enable the speedy payment of monetary compensation to the 7 victims has also been established in the state. In Ado Ekiti, Kola Adebobui, NTA News.
Governor Imo State Hope Uzodinma has announced a downward review of the 24-hour curfew declared in the state following the gradual return to normalcy. Bright Ibuchu reports that the governor made this known in a statewide broadcast in Owerri.
This is the third broadcast by the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma in less than 1 week following the outbreak of violence arising from the NSAS protest. While acknowledging the gradual return of normalcy in the state, the governor says available intelligence report shows that perpetrators of the mayhem unleashed on security operatives and state institutions were sponsored to wreak havoc in the state.
Let all those who mastermind the unprecedented carnage and wanton destruction of public and private property in the state be assured that they will not escape the long arm of the law. My esteemed Igbo people, as the situation in the state and the country gradually returns to normal, it is necessary to begin to relax the curfew announced on Wednesday. Consequently, the curfew will now start from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day for now. However, those unapproved essential services are exempted.
Governor Uzodinma announced the release of 2 billion naira take-off fund out of the 6 billion naira earmarked for accelerated youth empowerment program.
The 2 billion naira take-off fund will be deployed for the training of the first batch of the beneficiaries of this scheme, which will commence next week. The program will train in the first, second, and third batches an estimated number of 500,000 Imo youths in different skill acquisition programs within the next 2 years.
In Owerri, Bright Ibuchu, NTA News.
And now we head to Jigawa State, where the federal government has put in place a robust and sustainable development plan aimed at addressing the water problems in the state. President Muhammadu Buhari, in a message to the good people of Jigawa State, said the idea is to provide potable drinking water and for irrigation purposes to accelerate all year-round farming. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
Meeting was convened to deliver the presidential message to the people of Jigawa State. Represented by the Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, President Buhari said he owed the people of Jigawa State gratitude for their support and cooperation through sustenance of peace. He said his administration is conscious of the needs of Nigerians and is taking concrete steps in addressing them. President Muhammadu Buhari noted in particular the perennial water shortage bedeviling some parts of the state and pledged to make it a history before the end of his tenure.
Ask them for their understanding that I have the country as my constituency. So I'm a federal minister, and therefore I must also attend to the needs of other states. But be that as it may, I've been able to discuss with them some of the key
projects and programs that we've been doing, either from my ministry or from the federal government. And I think it was well taken.
Speakers were unanimous in their continued support of the Buhari-led administration.
I'm very happy with the meeting, of course, more especially if you can look the paces of the youth here. They are happy and is well informed. And the meeting, because the minister expressed some of the issues which is very vital.
We come up with our input. This includes peculiarity issues for farmers. Currently, you are aware that flooding has washed away a lot of farmland, and also people have suffered from that. Most of the people are now become displaced as a result of flooding. So we appeal to him that federal government have to come in and help the people that are affected with this flooding.
They welcome the federal government decision to address water problem in their respective areas. Mohammed Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
And now we'll join Agatha in our Benin Network studio for more updates on the NSAS protests. It's good to see you, Agatha.
To see you too, Najatu. Good evening and a warm welcome to Benin. Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ihanire, is advocating a positive collaboration between youths and leaders to get the nation to where it should be. This was at an interactive session with leaders and members of the Edo State Council of the National Youth Council of Nigeria in the wake of the violence that has characterized the NSAS protest and call for peace in the interest of the nation. Amuli Okolo reports.
The interactive session is part of efforts to get control of the situation so that life can get back to normal. Dr. Hanire is not only worried that the situation could have implications for public health with the COVID-19 pandemic, but the destruction and looting of public and private properties will only take the country some step backwards.
It is a wish of the federal government that we reconnect our states and try and get a good and smooth relationship between the federal government, state government, and the youth community. I've heard some of their complaints and grievances. I've also been able to advise them. I've also taken advice from them. The promise they have given is to do everything they can to get control of the situation.
He has directed all federal health facilities to take care of youths injured in the protests. The youths had the opportunity to make demands while areas of concern were cleared, especially on the looting of COVID-19 palliatives in the state.
Whatever we have discussed today, if it's we are not seeing the result, we can always come back to the table and also look at the issues again.
It is, and the Honorable Minister was able to explain to us that these goods that were being looted, they are not actually meant for only the COVID-19. They are meant for, other emergencies that come up. So I think it was really good that we had this interactive session.
It gives us a sense of belonging to know that our leaders, of course, are willing to listen to us.
Dr. Hanire, who is in Benin to engage the youths to find lasting solutions to the unrest in the country, will also meet other stakeholders. In Benin, Amuli Okolo, NTA News.
And in the meantime, the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 5 Benin, Shola David, is appealing to the citizens of Edo State to go about their lawful businesses as the police will ensure protection of their lives and property. The assurance comes on the heels of the directive from the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, to mobilize police operational assets and resources in order to bring to an end violence, killings, and destruction of public and private property in the state. Ifoma Ukafo has details.
In view of the wanton destructions and lootings that trailed the NSAS protest, which was hijacked by hoodlums, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, on Saturday issued a directive to the police to reclaim the public space and restore normalcy, saying enough is enough to acts of lawlessness by hoodlums under the guise of protesters. To key into the mandate, the AIG Zone 5 in charge of Edo and Delta states, Shola David, is strategizing with the Edo State Commissioner of Police, Johnson Kokumo, on how to reclaim the public space from criminals. He is assuring the citizens of safety of their lives and property.
So we are going to ensure full law and order is restored in Edo State, I want to reassure the good people of the state that they will be free to go about their lawful business with no fear of any attack whatsoever.
He also cautioned on the dangers of disseminating fake news.
To appeal to the press, this issue of fake social media news, it's a very, very critical factor in inciting a lot of, or some of these demonstrations and attacks we've been having.
He enjoined parents and guardians to advise their children and wards to eschew crimes and criminality for peace to reign in the state. In Benin, Ifeoma Okafor, NTA News.
Meanwhile, normal activities are returning to Benin City, the Edo State capital, after the NSAS protest that was hijacked by hoodlums, leading to civil unrest in this state. Again, Ifeoma Okafor brings situation report from across the city.
King Square, Mission Road, Five Junction, Dunsin Road and other areas in the metropolis are now beehive of activities. Human and vehicular movement is in full swing as gridlocks, which usually characterize the areas, are back. Some business districts are also busy. For instance, New Benin Market and Lagos Street. The popular newspaper stand at the New Benin Market is also busy with the Free Readers Association, as they are referred to in local palace. For the residents, the calm that the state is now experiencing is a welcome development.
Thank God for the calm that is returning to Benin, and not only Benin, the state and the country. But government should be fast for anything they want to do. They should be very, very fast. Not going to a meeting, after the meeting, the people don't hear from them. As you finish your meeting, address the people.
Many people now, they are now, you see business now functioning and everything. So I believe government will do a better thing. So
it's not just the Nigerian police alone who want to be reformed. We want all sector of governance to be reformed.
Meanwhile, the curfew imposed by the state government to contain youth restiveness is still on. In Benin, Ifeoma Okafor, NTA News.
And that's it from here. Najatu is back to you for more reports on Nationwide.
Thank you, Agatha. And still on security, the Multinational Joint Task Force and the Lake Chad Basin Commission, in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme, have organized a workshop to articulate an inclusive regional communication strategy aimed at preventing violent extremism in the Lake Chad Basin. The Chief of Military Public Information of the Joint Task Force, Colonel Muhammad Doli, says the event is aimed at reinforcing information and communication lines of operation to counter and replace the extremist ideology propaganda by Boko Haram and armed groups with a constructive alternative narrative capable of discouraging extremism and restoring confidence, leading to a secure future. Colonel Doli notes that the program is also meant to consult technical experts and representatives from the affected areas of the task force military influence to discourage sympathy and support for terrorists and deter Boko Haram and ISWAP from radicalizing and recruiting people, particularly across troop-contributing countries and the Lake Chad Basin in general. Meanwhile, in continuation of the sustained offensive against terrorist elements in the northeast of the country under subsidiary Operation Wutartapki, the Air Task Force of Operation Laifia Duli has destroyed terrorist hideouts and neutralized several fighters at Ungurigana along the Gulumba-Gana-Kumshe axis, as well as at Jumacharinia Damasak in the northern part of Borno State. A statement by Coordinator Defense Media Operations Major General John Enenche indicates that the attack was done through separate air interdiction missions on the heels of human intelligence reports, as well as a series of intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions, indicating that several terrorists had assembled at the two locations in preparation to launch attacks against nearby troops' positions. The hits by Nigerian Air Force fighter jets and helicopter gunships dispatched by the Air Task Force to attack the two target areas resulted in the destruction of some structures, as well as the neutralization of dozens of terrorists. Our last port of call in Nationwide is Maiduguri, where Abubakar is ready with all the latest news. Good evening, Abubakar.
Good evening to you too, Naja'atu, and we're glad that you have actually joined us. Now, in an effort to attend to the critical humanitarian needs of internally displaced persons in Borno State, Governor Babagana Umara has distributed 65 million naira cash assistance to people of Kalabalgi local government area. Yagum Subuka reports that 5,000 households, in addition to 3,000 widows, benefited from the gesture.
Run, the headquarters of Kalabalgi, located in central part of Borno State, can only be accessed by road through the Republic of Cameroon due to flooded road from a dam discharged in Central Africa that trapped people of Ran, cutting them off from traveling to other parts of Borno and denying them access to farms. Villagers mostly buy food supplies from Oboda village in neighboring Cameroon Republic for livelihoods. The visit to Ran by the governor is the 5th since he assumed office last year. Governor Babagana Umara supervised the 65 million naira cash distribution to households and widows, as well as vulnerable residents, to enable them buy food and other basic needs from Cameroonian border village.
$5,000
male households received 10,000 naira each, while 3,000 widows got 5,000 naira in addition to a 10 kg bag of rice each. Governor Babagana Umara, in all his visits to Ran, the headquarters of Kalabalgi local government, personally supervised the distribution of food and non-food items to residents, most of whom are in critical humanitarian needs. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
And back here in Maiduguri, promotion of students to the next level in all public schools in Borno should be based on performance as part of efforts to restore the lost glory of the education sector. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum stated this during a meeting held at the Government House, Maiduguri, with secondary school principals across the state, preparatory to reopening of schools on 26th October 2020. Mohammed Goni completes the story.
Governor Babagana Umara expressed concern over the falling standard of education, which he attributed to lack of reliable and accurate data, lack of qualified teachers, especially in science subjects, as well as poor facilities and infrastructure, which include functional library and laboratories, water and power supply, among others.
I'm pleading to you to please be upright, please be honest, be committed in taking Borno State and the nation to a greater height.
The governor charged the principals to be honest in presenting facts and figures about their schools, and further directed them to avail his office of all the requirements of their schools, including number of teachers, infrastructure, carrying capacity of each school, as well as other facilities to enable government plan, adding that government will introduce a system of reward to ginger performance among principals and teachers. Based on the suggestions made by the principals, Professor Babagana Umara directed the Ministry of Education to immediately reintroduce common entrance examination as the only criterion for entry into secondary schools, as well as prizes for best performing students at the end of every session, and the sponsorship of best performing graduates to encourage hard work among learners. Some principals who spoke on behalf of their colleagues were full of praises to the governor for the interface, which they said was the first of its kind, and further reminded their colleagues on the need to be firm and courageous in addressing challenges confronting the society. Commissioner for Education Bello Ayuba said the meeting was informed by Governor Zulum's passion and commitment to reposition the education sector in line with the 10-point transformation agenda. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
You're on to Nationwide on the largest television network in Africa, the NTA. Let's take another break at this point. Naja'atu in Abuja will be back with more stories shortly.
A scorecard like no other. Government has put in place measures and initiatives principally targeted at youths, women, and the most vulnerable groups in our society. These included broad plan to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in the next 10 years. The creation of 75 billion naira National Youth Investment Fund to provide opportunities for the youths, and the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Survivor Fund, through which government is A. Paying 3-month salaries of the staff of 100,000 micro, small and medium enterprises. B. Paying for the registration of 250,000 businesses at the Corporate Affairs Commission. C. Giving a grant of 30,000 naira to 100,000 artisans and guaranteeing market for the product of traders. These are in addition to many other initiatives such as farmer money, trader money, market money, N-Power, N-Tech, and N-Agro. These and more in spite of a recession and a global pandemic.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
My name is Nando Jamda Muhammad.
Stedita
Hussein Musa.
Roduna Joel Finji.
Said Musa. John. I'm a carpenter. I've been doing this for more than 8 years now.
And I said that plantain. Nakai Kimami Shekara Uku.
I've been selling my tomatoes for about 10 years now, and I do it for a better Nigeria.
And I do it for a better Nigeria.
And you can see we're doing our small little work to make Nigeria great.
As you can see, I'm a technician and I'm doing it to help myself and to help my generation.
Business.
For a better Nigeria.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
It's nice to know you're still watching news on Nationwide. More than 3,000 residents of Gona community in Akko local government area of Gombe State have benefited from a free medical outreach organized by the Nigerian Air Force. The 2-day outreach is part of various social responsibility programs of the Nigerian Air Force. Welcome Samari reports.
Flagging off the program, Gombe State Governor Muhammadu Inwe Haya expressed appreciation to the force for its contribution to the health sector, adding that as a security outfit, the Air Force is also offering free medical care to the community.
I see this outreach as the greatest thing that can ever happen. This is really amazing. This is very encouraging concerning the level of poverty that our people pass through, especially this time that the coronavirus has put a reverse landing here on all economic activities.
The Air Officer Commanding said the gesture is part of appreciation to the state and the host community.
The essence of this outreach is to reach out to the less privileged who don't have the privilege of having a healthcare services. If you recall, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Bababaka, in his drive to ensure that communities where the Air Force base are domiciled benefit from the social, military-civil relationship. And because of that, we are here to appreciate the community where the Air Force base in Gombe, that the 203 Combat Acquisition Group is domiciled.
Members of the community expressed gratitude to Nigerian Air Force for the gesture, assuring continuous support at all times. The free medical service includes free laboratory tests, drugs, eyeglasses, and treated mosquito nets, among others. In Gombe, Balgum Samari, NTA News.
And that story concludes the news on NTA Nationwide. Thanks for watching. Remember to stand as a star with NTA against rape.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
There is a lot of fake news and report circulating, especially on social media, on the coronavirus. Do not believe or partake in the spread of these fake reports. If it is not on the official website or news from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, disregard such report. Only together can we beat this virus. Only together can we overcome this pandemic. Follow the instructions and guidelines provided to combat this virus. Most importantly, stay at home. Self-isolate, regardless of your status. The virus doesn't move unless we move. Let us work together to better Nigeria. Together, we can do this. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Africa's largest television network.
Demands of #EndSARS movement. Immediate release of all arrested protesters. Justice for all deceased victims of police brutality and appropriate compensation for their families. Setting up an independent body to oversee the investigation and prosecution of all reports of police misconduct within 10 days. In line with the new Police Act, psychological evaluation and retraining to be confirmed by an independent body of all disbanded SARS officers before they can be redeployed. Increase police salary so that they are adequately compensated for protecting the lives and property of citizens. Federal government's response. On 11th October 2020, the Inspector General of Police dissolved the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, across the 36 states police commands and the Federal Capital Territory. On October 12th, President Muhammadu Buhari addressed the nation, stating, "The disbanding of SARS is only the first step in our commitment to extensive police reforms." On 13th October 2020, the Inspector General of Police ordered all defunct SARS personnel to report at Force Headquarters, Abuja, for debriefing as well as psychological and medical examination. On 13th October 2020, the Presidential Panel on the Reform of SARS accepted the 5-point demand of the #EndSARS protesters. On 15th October 2020, the National Economic Council, NEC, directed the immediate establishment of state-based judicial panels of inquiry across the country to receive and investigate complaints of police brutality, related extrajudicial killings, with a view to delivering justice for all victims of the dissolved SARS and other police units. State governors should immediately establish state-based special security and human rights committees to be chaired by governors in their state, and to supervise the newly formed police tactical units and all other security agencies located in the state. This will ensure the protection of citizens' human rights. Members will also include representatives of youth and civil society, as well as head of police tactical units in each of the states.
This is the network service of the NTA.
You are welcome to Abrahamic Mission. Abrahamic Mission is a program that used to enlighten us about the two main religions that we have in this country, namely Islam and Christianity. And my name is Imam Fuad Adeyemi, and joining me in the studio today is Father, once again, Bishop John Praise Daniel. Is it correct the way I put them? Or Bishop Daniel John Praise is the presiding bishop of Dominion Chapel of Churches here in Abuja. Bishop, you are welcome.
Daniel, thank you.
John Praise Daniel, you are welcome. And also, once again with us is Imam Dr. Muhammad Kabir Adam, is Imam at the National Mosque here in Abuja. Imam, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much too. Together we'll be discussing today the youth preparing for the challenges ahead. Like we always say, initially what we know was that youth are the leaders of tomorrow. But from today we discover they're actually the leaders because they influence a lot of things. They have strength to do a lot of things. They have vigor to do a lot of things. They are more exposed to a lot of things. So it means what God has given to them is something that they will need to be able to take the reign of leadership, every aspect of human endeavor. And together with our learned clerics, we'll be discussing this. But we will not start this discussion until we read some of the messages that we've received. I'll start with this man. He said, "Good day. I like this your topic. We serve one God, and I don't see why we should be killing ourselves. Thank you for the program. May God help you. And I like what Imam mentioned about company that collapse. Government should note, not every youth can go to the farm. May Allah bless you all." From Dickiness Idowu. So, Dickiness Idowu, we thank you. This is a long message, but let me see whether I'll be able to read it because it's very long. This man writes, "Good day, sir. I want you for your good day, sir. I want to thank you for your last program, Wish Death on the Youth. My joy was on the contribution of your speakers on the topic, more especially the Imam of Abuja National Mosque and his Lordship Archbishop of Dominion Church. Incidentally, the two of them are still around today to dwell more on what you said you are." He said the Imam so made the topic very interesting and clear, making most people who think they understand the Quran or Bible look stupid. In fact, even in his response to question of the government's introduction of Empower program, I'm so pleased with how he responded by saying that it would have been better if the government had revived our industry for the youth to work on than the so-called program. Many people in government use that to make money, and even our youth, most of just wait and collect their allowances monthly without reporting to their duty posts. I wish more interesting topics be discussed, as this is my program, as it helps to bring more unity, thereby showing us that there is no much differences between Christianity and Islam and Islamic religion. Thanks you and keep it up, Engineer Obi. I don't know that you have what, if you want, you feel that there is something you want to comment on, we will assist. But let me, this one says, he said, "Hi sir, my name is Joy John, writing from Abia State. I do listen to your NTA program on Abrahamic Mission. So interesting, more grace of God upon your lives. I have been in Adamawa for more than 40 years, and all my stay there, Muslim has been my very good friends. I share things in common with them too. I came back to my state because of Boko Haram crisis, but by God's grace, soon they will become history. Thanks for your enlightenment." This man, this person writes, he says, "Good evening, sir. Please, if this program is to be a complete program, it has to be recorded in disc in series so that people can be hearing and rehearing them. And this will go a long way in solving our religious problem we are having in Nigeria. Thanks and God bless you and your team. Femi Martins from Ibadan, Oyo State." I don't know whether you hear what he said. No. I think I agree with him. No. He said this program, all the episode, we should put it in disc. If it means selling, if you can get people who can sponsor it, so that when we produce in thousands, we'll be able to give people who can listen. And in fact, it's better even put it in audio so that they can be playing it inside their cars, at home, anywhere, where they are. So we are waiting for you. Anybody who wants to, Bishop, I know. If I talk to Bishop, I know something will come out from there. So let's see whether we can have like what Dominion Chapel will do. So we'll be waiting. Okay. This one say, please, I'm a man of God. I love this program. It unites everybody together. God bless you all. I'm Reverend Senator Chinedu Daniel. Another one Ryan sent, good evening, sir. I'm Saki Ozoyeladun. This program is my favorite TV show. Please try to invite pastors and imam from other states. They may have more contribution to the development of this great nation. God bless you. I think we thank you too for that. Another man Ryan said, good evening, imam. I love this program. It's very educative. I never miss it for once. May the good Lord continue to increase your knowledge to bring peace among the two religions in this Nigeria. Thank you. Thank God. My name is Osita from Egbeda in Lagos State. This one says, good evening, sir. My name is Clinton. I'm from Ondo State. I'm so interested to the part. I can't get what this man is writing. Let me read another one. This one says, my name is Eyame Bitros Lamido. I'm from Lagos. God bless the program, and also God bless the Muslim religion and Christian religion. Imam and Bishop, may God reward you all with blessing, and God bless NTA station too. Thank you. This man say, good evening, sir. This program is very educative. I believe it will also help to address the current SARS protest. Thank you, Imam Mohammed Kabir Adam and Bishop John Praise Daniel. This man actually corrected me. He pronounced the name better than me. This one says, my name is Emmanuel Udodo. I'm from Benue State. I love the program. The program is very good because we are also one, but the Christian and Muslim. And why is it that Muslim girls do not get married to Christian men, sir? I want you to enlighten me about that. Bishop John Praise, then I don't know what he writes again, but I think we have gotten what he's asking. This one says, my name is Friday from Port Harcourt. He said the youth are ready, but the problem is corruption. When they saw how much their parents have looked that even the generation unborn cannot finish it, they relax and enjoy their life. So government should do something. I don't know if you understand what the man said. He said young people are no more working because their parents have stolen so much, and which they have seen it. So they only relax and enjoy life.
This is part of what we discussed last week, telling the youth that they should forget what their parents have. They should develop their skills, their potentiality, to showcase that this is their own time, and they can showcase. They are not relying on their parents' wealth. No. The responsibility of parent, whether they have money or not, is to make sure they give sound education to their children.
Yeah.
And the children will know what to do.
Yeah. They become mature.
Exactly.
Prepare for their future, not depending on whatever that has been stored for them. Because if they do not have the capacity, they will not be able to sustain it. So it's not just about what is left behind by their parents for them, but do they have the capacity to sustain it? But you know, what you get on your own is far, far more better than what you inherit.
Yes.
That's the difference between inheritance and possession. Cite an examples here. There was a time somebody woke up in the morning, crossing railway line. On that railway line, he